Good evening, Beyond the Call of Duty friends and family and EOW family. It is Friday, November 17th, and for some of you, it's probably Saturday, November 18th. Um, the live was late tonight. JC wanted to be on. He ran into some technical difficulties, but it is, as I'm sure most or all of you know, that JC and several survivors are in Africa. Um, Going on many adventures and bonding, healing, uh, and trying to navigate through some of the losses that they have had. Speaking of losses, we're going to start out with mentioning four officers. One was lost back in October, but he was just recently officially recognized. This is um, Sergeant John Arden Jensen. He's with the Fort Worth Police Department out of Texas, and his end of watch was Saturday, October 28th of this year. And Sergeant Johnson passed away due to complications from COVID. So our thoughts and prayers are with his family and his department. The next officer is Senior Patrol Officer Jorge Pastor. He's with the Austin. He was with the Austin Police Department out of Texas. His end of watch was Saturday, November 11th. He was shot and killed during a hostage barricade about 4:10 a.m. Patrol officers had initially responded to the residence for a domestic violence call involving a stabbing shortly before 3 a.m. Arriving officers located an injured victim outside the home and learned there were two more injured victims inside the residence. As the officers attempted to enter the home to rescue the victims, the subject inside opened fire, causing the officers to retreat. The agency SWAT team arrived on the scene and attempted a hostage rescue about 4:30 a.m. The subject opened fire on the SWAT team, fatally wounding Officer Pastor and wounding a second officer. The officers returned fire, killing the suspect. The other two victims were found deceased inside the home. Officer Pastor had served with the Austin Police Department for 4 years. He is survived by his wife, his two stepsons, and his parents. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and the Austin Police Department as well. Our next loss is Corrections Officer Jovian, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Motley. He's with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Correctional Institution Division out of Texas. End of watch was Monday, November 13th, 2023. Officer Motley died while helping to restrain a combative inmate at the J. Dale Wainwright unit in Lovelady. And his actual cause of death is still under investigation. He'd been with the Department of Criminal Justice for just over 1 year, and he's survived by his mother and father. Losing this wonderful young man would be painful on its own, but still not knowing what caused his death, I'm sure, is precluding some closure to some degree for the family and the officers that served with Officer Motley. Next, we have, and lastly, we have Border Patrol Agent Freddie Ortiz. He was with the United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection. His end of watch was Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. Agent Ortiz was killed in an ATV crash in Douglas, Arizona, while responding to reports of undocumented immigrants in the area of the Chino Road. His ATV left the roadway and struck a utility pole as he drove along the International Drive while searching the area about 7 p.m. The collision caused the ATV to overturn and he suffered fatal injuries. Officer Ortiz was a U.S. Navy veteran. He had served with the United States Border Patrol for 13 years and was assigned to the Douglas Station, Tucson sector. He is survived by his mother and stepfather. So as you can all see, Texas had a pretty rough week, losing 3 officers. And historically speaking, over the last at least the last 3 years, 4 years that Beyond the Call has been operating, Texas loses more officers than anybody. And the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, where Officer Motley is from, has lost a significant amount of personnel. In 2021, they lost approximately 60 officers that year alone. So, again, all our thoughts and prayers are with Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Austin Police Department, the Fort Worth Police Department, and Customs and Border Protection for their losses. Want to thank a couple of sponsors. Trailer Boss. We want to thank Nick over at Trailer Boss for all he's done for Beyond the Call. Every time we seem to run into a problem with our trailer, he's there and jumps on it and helps us out, and we couldn't ask for a better ally. Lone Wolf Harley Davidson. Beyond the Call would be pretty lost without them. They have been amazing, donating motorcycles for Beyond the Call to raffle off. We start a ride from Beyond our Lone Wolf every year in Spokane, Washington, and they have been an incredible ally for us. Yokes Fresh Market, all through the Pacific Northwest. If you're shopping, especially for this Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas holiday, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, all these holidays that are coming up, go to Yokes and get your grocery items from them and show them some love for all the support that they've given Beyond the Call. Michael D's in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is open for breakfast and lunch. If you want some amazing food, stop by Michael D's Eatery. Let them know that you came in from because of Beyond the Call. And if Michael's there, say hi to him. You will not meet a nicer man. Phoenix Protective Corp. They operate out of Washington, Idaho, Montana, Alaska, Oregon. And this, as JC would say, is not a Photoshop picture. This photograph was taken in between Anchorage and Fairbanks, Alaska, when one of the patrol officers was making a return trip from Fairbanks to Anchorage. So if you are in need of any kind of security, and that's anything from event security to loss prevention to patrol, reach out to Phoenix Protective Corp, because they have been our absolute number one supporter since the inception of Beyond the Call. So let's show them some love. 1350 Distilling out of Colorado Springs. If you're in that area, stop by, say hi, see our banners that we have hung there. So as the ride progresses from June until August each year, there's a banner that is taken, and every department that is stopped at, the family and friends and department members sign this banner. And our last ride, we visited 265 departments. So you can imagine how many signatures were on there. And those banners are hung up at 1350 Distilling. They have been gracious enough to hold those banners for us, and then they will find permanent homes in departments elsewhere. We'd like to thank Selkirk Construction. We held the raffle there. They have been great supporters. If you're looking for materials or to build a home in the Pacific Northwest, North Idaho, Spokane area, reach out to Selkirk Construction. Jeff Howe, a great guy, he'll set you up with what you need. Garden Street Yoga with Jen Harbor in Coeur d'Alene. If you are looking to, especially during these winter months, to get out and beat some of that seasonal depression, expand your mind, exercise your body, go to Garden Street Yoga. You can go online, ask for Jen, go to some of these yoga classes that her and her teacher, Karen, give, and you will be glad you did it. They're amazing people, and they can make a huge difference. So not a lot. I know JC wanted to be on tonight, and apologize that he's not here. But again, he is in Africa with survivors. And as you saw on the opening video that we had, the survivors are there. They've been taking them on safaris. I know they went to see like some king cobras, and they've seen rhinos and giraffes. And so this time is about, for the survivors, reminding them that there's still life to live, that there's still happiness to find. And, you know, we can never fill the void of the loss that they've had from their brother or sister, husband, wife, son, daughter, aunt, uncle. But there's people out there that would like to try to help them navigate this tragic incident that they're dealing with. So we're glad that we could get them over there. We've had some great sponsors over in Africa. Bonfire Adventure is helping out. Adventures is helping out with some of the activities that the survivors will be doing. And then JC's friends at MASH Auto have provided transportation for our survivors. So we want to give a big shout out to them. Not sure they're watching because it is not even 9 a.m. In Africa. So let's see if we have any comments tonight. I'm not JC, so we've got one from Nick. He says, "Good evening, Chris. Everyone have a good and safe weekend." Again, Nick is with Nick is with Trailer Boss, and he has been amazing for us. I know we would have a hard time functioning without his assistance. So I would like to put out there for all our viewers to send a message to End of Watch. If you have a fallen officer that was in your life, in your family's life, in your friend's life that you know of, was in a department, and their end of watch date is coming up, let us know, because we honor a fallen officer every day, but we would be proud to honor an officer for one of you. So if you had a friend, again, family member, just somebody that worked in your department or that you just knew, let us know, and we would be more than honored to have them as our daily memorial and remembrance of them. We are always in need of sponsors, and not that is a great segue because it's not, but Be on the Call is in need of sponsors to help fund our ride. We've got a few things coming up that we're going to put out. I know there'll be some changes to the store, and I know we've said that, but with this trip to Africa, that has kind of been put on the back burner a little bit, just because obviously the attention to the survivors and the trip is taking priority over the shop. But those of you, if you could, if you could go to the shop, point it out to people. If you have suggestions for us on sponsors, again, my name is Chris. Reach out at info@eowride.org. Let me know. I'm happy to chase down any of those because it's a good cause. 100% of what we take in is given back to the ride, families, survivors. Nobody in End of Watch Beyond the Call takes a salary. Everybody that does this volunteers, and I wish that I could convey to you the amount of dedication and emotional energy it takes. And I would like to give a special shout out to Allison McCarter, who has been with Beyond the Call and JC since the beginning. And Allison has been on every ride, every mile. She has cried with family members. She has rode in the rain. She has done, and this is all on a motorcycle, have you? She's not driving, she's riding. 800 miles a day, visited sometimes 4 departments a day. She is the linchpin in this ride. When everybody else is taking a break, maybe eating a snack, Allison is off to the side making phone calls, making sure that our next point that we're going to is ready and things are smooth. She does not stop the entire ride, and that's 75 days sometimes. So Allison McCarter, who happens to be on travel right now, a big thank you to you, your amazing husband, who also helps out so very, very much in many, many ways. But Allison is a special gift to Beyond the Call. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that make all of this work. Cami Lewis, Jason Valerez. There's too many to name that I can't think of. JC stops or goes nonstop for Beyond the Call. So Damien, there's just on and on and on, people. So again, anything that you all can do to help even get our name out would be amazing. So Dana says, we appreciate Donna, pardon me. Thank you, Donna. The honor's all ours. It really is. We are getting into the holiday season. Where I am, it gets dark sooner and stays dark later, as I'm sure it is with most of you. We received about almost 40 inches of snow. So driving needs extra precaution. We need to be cognizant of our brothers and sisters in first responders. So if you see red and blue lights, make sure that you give them enough room to get by. If they are pulled over on the side of the road and you're going by, make sure you give them enough room so they can perform whatever task it is that they're doing in a safe manner so they get home at night. Remember to wear your seatbelt. Don't text and drive. For the love of Pete, please don't drink and drive. If you do decide to drink, call somebody. Get a designated driver, call a cab, get an Uber, call a friend, phone a friend. So just be safe. If you see law enforcement out in public, just tell them thank you. Shake their hand if they'll let you. Give them a hug if that's appropriate. But again, I can tell you from personal experience, having somebody come up and just say, thank you for what you do. We recognize the sacrifices you make. It means a lot to them. And, they're human beings. And so it may be the difference for them in the next call being able to handle that better. Because we don't know what they just came from. Maybe they just came from writing a ticket. No big deal. Maybe they just came from a SWAT call out where they went inside and found, 2 people deceased. We don't know the trauma that they're dealing with, but after that call, they have to shake it off so they can go to the next one. And then they have to get up the next day and do it again. And the same thing with our paramedics and our firefighters. So just show them some love and let them know they're appreciated. Thank you all for being here. I know it's late, and we love you all for showing up to our live and being on here. We couldn't ask for better people to be with us. You all have an amazing weekend, and we will see you next Friday, if not sooner.